This is a virtual presentation for the 10th International Conference, The Constructed Environment 2020 in Berkeley, California. Title of this presentation is The Relation of the Values Attributed of the Architectural Space, Spatial Culture and Use. My name is Gülhed Aras. I am a research assistant and PhD candidate at Gazi University Faculty of Architecture, Ankara, Turkey. I also make this presentation on behalf of Dr. Esra Özkan Yazgan. The meaning of the concept of the cultural heritage has entered the process of change since the second half of the last century. For a long time, cultural heritage has been referred to as the historical and aesthetic values of a group of imported buildings from the past. Conservation was understood as ensuring the physical integrity of these heritages and preventing their decays. Today, architectural building, landscapes, industrial facilities and cities are included in the scope of cultural heritage with both monumental and local dimensions. The concept of the conservation is understood not only as physical integrity of the heritage but also the protection of its value. It is accepted that the foundation of the value-centered understanding was laid by the article The Modern Cult of Monument written by Riegel. After the ideas put forward by Riegel at the beginning of the 20th century, the concept of the value gradually took part in the discussion in the world of the conservation, and today it is one of the main conservation assumptions. Heritage areas are a collection of values. They have at least one of several value criteria that support the protection of historical building, area or object, ensuring its acceptance as a heritage. Heritage values are generally more objective than subjective, context-dependent, variable and configurable criteria. Therefore, the value of a heritage site can change depending on the cultural, social, economic and political environment. These changes in values also affect conservation approach applied to the heritage, usage of architectural space, function in turn spatial culture. This network of the relationship will be discussed throughout the industrial heritage case, which are among the newest titles of cultural heritage, and there the value attributed to the heritage structures can be observed over time. Ankara railway area has continued to undergo many transformations in terms of the integrity of campus and the use of individual space since the train arrives in Ankara. The first train to Ankara reached in 1892 with the completion of a part of the Istanbul-Bağdat railway project during the Ottoman Empire. This was celebrated with great enthusiasm as a symbol of westernization and development in transportation. Ankara is an important center for managing the War of Independence after the establishment of Republic of Turkey became its capital. Rural and a small town Ankara began to work to transform and capital of modern Turkey. In the Lorhan plan prepared within the scope, railway campus was located with the industrial area of the city. While the capital was developing, a new station building designed with the idea of not adequately represented the modern Republic of Turkey. Station building, in terms of the values, it represents an important place in the history of the Republic of Turkey and many memory value attributed. Cer Ateliers was built in 1920s in the campus, which was used as an industrial area of Ankara for a while. The industrial structure was spread over a wide area with many different functions. The area was under pressure for transformation because of its central location, rapid development of the city. Many industrial heritage structures in this area were destroyed without value attributed. Cer ateliers, which have lost their function like other industrial heritage structures, had been inactive for a long time. It was seen as the most worthless structure in the railway campus. It was not taken under conservation and was left to decay. In fact, some part of the ateliers were demolished in order to change the way of maneuver throughout the area where the ateliers were located. The commission appointed to manage the transformation of this industrial area in Ankara decided to build the Presidential Symphony Orchestra GSO on the neighboring land of the atelier. Cer atelier were the agenda during the competition for the design of GSO building. As a result of discussion about whether the ateliers will be demolished or not, the decision to conservation of ateliers was taken. The architectural office that won the context of the GSO and Cer ateliers as a whole and made suggestion. Cer ateliers were the first building undergoing the functional transformation with the railway area. Cer ateliers were renamed as a Cer Modern. With this aspect, it played an active role in the terms of the continuity of the campus in the city memory. As a cultural center its effect has undergone as a strong functional transformation according to its scale. Cultural value is attributed to the building as the modern art center of Ankara today. Cer Modern, which came to agenda, is at the tail of campus during the construction of the Presidential Symphony Orchestra, as it became very well-functioning cultural center, even though its difficulty access today. While the construction of GSO is still in process, Cer Modern, which was about to demolish without volume, are strikingly accepted in Ankara city life with their functional transformation. Ankara railway area has a symbolic value in the physical development of the city as a campus, as it in the region where the industrialization in the city begins, which is the built from struct with the establishment of Republic of Turkey, is the symbol of industrialization and urbanization capacity. However, due to its central location, the economic value on the region override other value. Instead of protecting the campus as a whole, applying particle protection approach on the building basis causes the campus to lose its integrity. Thank you so much.